Welcome into the OBR streaming network. This is a brand new edition of All Eyes on Cleveland. My name is Brad Ward. The man next to me is Casey Kinnamon. Big Case Dog in the building. What is going on, brother? How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. We made it.
Yes.
Starting tomorrow, there's actual football taking place in Berea. We got the rookies this weekend.
Yeah.
We got the kickoff show on the OBR Monday night, and then Tuesday veterans report, and then we're in it to win it.
Jackson, it's a great question. We're going to start the show with that in a minute. Good to see everybody filing into the chat. Well stated by you. Monday night, do not miss it. Be here, 7 p.m. Training camp kickoff show. All your favorite OBR personalities will be here. We'll pack it in. We'll hash it out. All the questions, burning questions you want answered, we'll get them answered. So be here for that for sure. Make sure you hit like and slap that sub button while you're at it too down there. As we push towards 10,000 subscribers. We're just a couple hundred away. So appreciate you guys doing that. There's a cool new thing in YouTube I noticed in the chat too. So like the more you comment, you gain these little the XP points, so you can like finish first, second, or third in the chat. It's kind of cool, right? So feel free to go for the title during this show. All right, let's dig in. Couple things of news today, Case. We'll start off with TJ Watt signed.
Hmm.
Sauce Gardner signed a $30 million deal.
Yeah.
Two things of significance. Watt, I never expected it to go another way. Did you?
No, I'm surprised it's only 3.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he only. I think that was probably the sticking point all along. You want security, and they only offered him 3 years.
Yeah. So Watt, I mean, it's impactful, but I didn't expect the trade, leverage they were trying to play. I never really bought into that. That he was ever going to be in another uniform, at least at this point in his career.
Yeah, but that is one organization that like there is a precedent of them moving on from people. So it wasn't out of the realm of possibility. It didn't seem likely to me just because of what he means to that defense.
Yeah.
But, we've seen them. They usually cut bait, and I hate to say it. Usually when they cut bait, they're right.
Yeah.
The player tends to fall off soon thereafter.
It seems like it would be kind of counteractive to the all-in approach they're kind of taking with
1 year with Rodgers.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. I agree. But then I didn't see that moving on from Minka either.
Jacob answering Jack's question. Well, I'll get to this one second. Let me start this as well. We'll get to that in 1 second. The Sauce Gardner thing is impactful because of Denzel Ward and potentially Emerson and, whoever emerges, Emerson or Greg Newsome, to grab an extension. Not so much the second two, because they're not going to demand top tier money, I don't really think.
Not top tier, but that market trickles down, and
it trickles down.
Yeah, they'll get more because of it than they would have beforehand.
Now Denzel Ward is making, around $20 million a year, and his money is guaranteed money is running out, I think. So when does he come back to the table? I just saw he was voted by execs, players, the only, rankings that really matter out there, the execs, players, and coaches as the third best corner in the league.
Yeah. I don't think it can be argued that when he's on the field, he's that impactful.
No
And,
doubt.
you know, and there are more complete corners, but as far as a cover corner, which is the
Yeah.
primary duty, he's as good as anyone in the league at that. You know, obviously we have a different view of it just because of the injury history, the concussions, you know, but as far as skills on the field, covering receivers, he's as good as there is in the NFL.
Yeah. So how do you approach that if you're the Browns? Jackson says he needs one more healthy season, and then the organization could probably hammer out another extension. I don't think they'll be shy about giving him an extension, giving him the money that he wants.
Yeah.
But I agree, it'll probably be after this year.
Yeah. And I would what's healthy though? Is healthy. He only misses 2 games, right?
Yeah.
I got that. That is healthy for Denzel Ward.
Yeah. I mean, I would say 14 and up is a healthy season.
Now, a lot of people can't look at it like that. They look at any time missed as, you know, he's frail, he's weak.
He's gonna miss.
You'll see it happen when he does miss his game or two, which is going to happen. Look at his history. But he's too valuable, man. When he's on the field, it completely changes the dynamic of the defense.
Yeah. Yep. Jeffrey says he wouldn't mind looking for a trade for Ward and pay Greg and Martin Emerson. They're younger. Ugh, that's scary. I got it. I mean, we're going to get to that. That's one of our topics later as well. It's kind of the path of these positions, but both of them need to prove in a major way this year.
I can't imagine the season those 2 players would have to have for you to feel comfortable just moving off Denzel Ward. It'd be amazing, but I just can't imagine what that would look like.
Yeah, Jacob says Denzel's only 28. You know, I'm good.
Guardrail, son. He's been here forever, but because you drafted him young,
giving him another deal.
That's how he gets one more in Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I mean, yeah, we've said. You know, what's interesting about that, Matt McClain. Really can't afford any more head injuries for Denzel. I agree, but I think I've said that like 3 times.
Yeah, and the next chef commented that he wants Denzel to quit tackling with his head. It ain't even that anymore. The last 2 times he's went to the ground, and the ground's caused it. You know what I mean?
One time it was like a normal, very normal, like rollover. Yeah. So scary stuff. Yeah, it's something to keep your eye on. I think that's why you want to wait a year too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just see what happens this year. You know what I mean? And let that dictate how you want to handle that. But certainly the Sauce Gardner is nowhere near, in my book, the corner that Ward is. I mean, Gardner's coming off a down year.
Yeah.
And
they're banking on upside there, which is there.
Yeah.
We've seen it. He is coming off a down year.
Yeah. So interesting. All right, let's get back to your the topic that everybody wants. That probably doesn't want to, but we're going to talk about. You're watching All Eyes on Cleveland. Thanks for being here. It's Casey Kinnamon. I'm Brad Ward. We all know what's going on with Quinton Judkins at this point. He has a domestic violence charge in Florida. And, you know, first reactions case, I was like, wait for all the facts, right? Don't say anything. Wait for all the facts to come out. A lot of the facts have come out, or at least alleged facts. Doesn't look good. And, you know, if you watch the React, we kind of covered the legal aspect of it, listening to Florio, where I think actually Florio is best is in these situations, you know, when he's covering, you know, how the NFL operates and how the legal side operates is probably where his sweet spot. So, you know, we listened to Florio cover it, and, you know, the longer this takes financially or legally, I mean, it doesn't sound like they're going to sign him right now.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he's not going to show up tomorrow. Let's just start with that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up and they,
Well,
but
yeah,
there's no
there are
way he
reports
practices. There's
there's
no way.
reports out there that they're told him to stay away.
He should. That's right. They should. Look, man, and this is different because it's not apples to apples, obviously. But you remember last year, the day after Michael Hall, after it all went down, they had him on the practice field. That is a bad look.
Yep.
This is way different because he's not even signed. This is uncharted
There's no
territory.
contract.
Yeah, uncharted territory.
No contract, which makes it very, very difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very muddy situation, man.
Yeah, and it's interesting. The other layer to this was the second round picks that were all holding out for the guaranteed money.
Yeah.
After Higgins kind of bracketed the Schlesinger by giving him the fully guaranteed deal, and then the Browns obviously followed suit, gave Schlesinger his, and then everybody else is going to see how far they could take it in the second round, right? And I figured it would take one guy not to take a guaranteed deal. The next guy up in order would be Iman Wari in Seattle. But a couple of guys signed today for non-fully guaranteed contracts. So the dominoes will fall now.
Yeah.
This also changed the landscape of that because, your guy at, as far as holding the line for guaranteed money, your guy at 36, right? Has no leverage at all anymore.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
So real quick, we'll touch on this real quickly. The longer he takes for the legal side to play out, the longer the NFL will rule. The NFL's ruling has nothing to do with what happens legally.
No,
they will rule. They will rule how they feel.
Yeah.
Based on their investigation. So he can be found completely innocent. She could recant, all this stuff, and it could all go away legally. And the NFL could still, Mike Hall pled down to disorderly conduct and still got 5 games.
Yeah. I think it's 4 to 6. It's kind of where that's kind of where I see it. The NFL will let the legal stuff play out, but that is completely separate from their investigation. And they'll do stuff with civil stuff pending, but not legal. But they're not going to. This is going to be 4 to 6 games. I don't see any way around it.
Yeah, I lean toward and this is kind of it shouldn't be this way, but there's incentive for him to wrap it up as quickly as possible on the legal side. Like if he could wrap it up quickly on the legal side, he probably has a better chance at 4, but I kind of am with Fumble leaning. I probably lean strongly towards 6.
Yeah, well, they're ugly allegations. I don't want to get into the ins and outs of it, but they're ugly allegations. Unless he has direct proof video evidence that it didn't happen the way she said it happened, he's going to be suspended 4 to 6. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it is 6. But to your point about getting it wrapped up early, his mother's an attorney. I'm sure he'll be well represented. I'm sure not her, obviously, but
yeah,
she understands the law in and out. So I'm sure the incentive there is to get this out of the way, and I'm sure he'll be well represented.
She was obviously conflicted about even turning him in. She sought counsel through family. They've obviously known each other for some time, I think.
Yeah, they were dated in the past. I believe lived together at one point, broke up, and then they were trying to rekindle. And
so the whole, the fact that she has alleged what she has, allegedly has pictures of the bruising and stuff, and then waited to talk to her family and stuff before, going forward, kind of shows that she was even contemplating wanting to harm, knowing that it would impact his career, but she obviously got advice from her family to go forward and do it. So yeah, I think he's in some trouble, Case, and I lean towards probably closer to 6, maybe 4 if he gets it done, wraps it up quickly. If the legal process plays itself out, like if he says I didn't do this, and wants to fight it in court, I think he probably ends up on the commissioner's exempt list at some point, and that really drags things out.
Strings this thing along. Yep.
Yeah. So that's where I was at. The part about it is, and I'll go to kind of your question. Let's go to these questions I saved. Do we just roll with Ford and Sampson? Are we adding another running back to the mix? Jacob answered this saying, Jack, I'll say they'll wait until they know how long Judkins will be out before making the decision to add someone else, but I could see a camp body.
There's going to be 3 running backs regardless. But is it going to be a name everyone gets excited about? Like, oh, probably not. That's probably not the future of it.
Yeah, I mean, the question for me is like, it isn't about really. It's about Pierre Strong. The guy on the roster that's next to step in is Pierre Strong. I've seen that show, and it's not a fun one.
And it feels like they've been trying to replace him, and he keeps just sticking around because no one cements that role from him.
So if I'm them, and this kind of leads to Will thinks 6 to 8. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me, but I think that they need to look for another body. To Jacob's point, I don't think it'll be immediate, right? Like you can go ahead and proceed, in camp with the guys that you have there. But I think around cut downs, they may have some UDFAs they like. They may have some players that get cut. Currently, their free agents are out. I mean, Dearness Johnson's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind bringing Dearness in.
No, just a spot player. I mean, I'm not trying to say, I'd rather have him over Pierre Strong as my running back 3.
Agreed. Jamal Williams, Gus Edwards, Jeff Wilson, Naheem Hines.
I've always liked Jeff Wilson, but he's injury prone.
Yeah.
Severely so.
Amir Abdullah, Chase Edmonds, Jermichael Hasty, Dearness Johnson, Josh Kelly, Mike Boone, Deontay Foreman, John Kelly. John Kelly's been in Browns camp every year. They might just bring him back.
Yeah. I'll just throw it out there. Aiden Robbins is staying in shape.
Good. Keep him in shape. Yeah, I mean, Gus Edwards is 30. Did he try to? But how was he for the Chargers last year?
He couldn't take JK's job. JK was hobbled.
Yeah.
I've always liked Dameon Pierce.
Yeah, Dameon Pierce too feels like they haven't used a ton of him lately. He's become basically just a kick returner out there.
Yeah.
Maybe worth a phone call. He's a nice back. The question is how much
do you feel desperate enough to do that though right now, though? I kind of let the chips fall and see teams are going to let go of guys. That's where my mind would be.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you wait. Maybe you bring in a Kelly because he's been in camp you know what I mean? As a camp guy. I wouldn't mind Dearness, certainly. He knows the scheme to Jack's point.
You would feel like you'd have a solid floor with him as your last back in the rotation.
But at some point, you're going to have to do something because I don't think you can just go into the season with Pierre Strong as your running back 3.
I mean, it's not ideal, but in an ideal world, Sampson and Ford splitting carries. I don't feel terrible about that.
I don't feel
like
terrible
Sampson a
about it
great deal.
either.
Ford's better than we give him credit just because he's not outstanding. And he was there when Nick Chubb was there. So he was always compared to like what Nick was able to do in that offense and the efficiency that Nick ran with. And he just isn't that guy. But he's an above average running back.
Yeah, I mean, I lead towards wanting to give the spotlight to Sampson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you know, Pete kind of thinks that they're going to use him in the offense like everywhere. Like they're going to use him as a wide receiver. They're going to use him as a back. They're going to use.
That might have been the plan before Judkins got him hot water.
Yeah, you may have to alter that.
Adapt and overcome.
Yeah, because I do think that you're right about Ford. And I don't mind him, and he can pop the big one, and he's good third down back. He's probably a better third down back than Sampson at this point in pass protection. But like, you know, I would like to see what Sampson has between the tackles and giving him the ball 15 times. You know what I mean? In a game, and see, it's really to me more about the offensive line. It takes these rookie running backs a minute sometimes to get, you know,
so much timing and spacing and understanding your cutback, especially in the wide zone. Because you can't, I mean, Dylan Sampson 100% can run a wide zone scheme, but coming from Tennessee's offense, there's going to be an adaptive period for him.
Yep. So, I mean, I've heard a lot of people, like I was listening to 92.3 yesterday, and like Ken, my guy, he was so down, like depressed in the dumps about this thing. Yeah. He was kind of down in the dumps about this thing. Like they were making him the face of their offense, kind of, and you know, okay, and I understand it sucks, but like this doesn't deter my hopes for the team. If they were going to be good with Judkins, they can overcome being good without him. Like for me, he's not the reason they win a bunch of games.
I expected him to be the workhorse. Now, I fully expected it to be a committee as well, but I did expect him to have the lion's share of the snaps between the three backs. And I still feel even without Judkins, this is a run-first offense. That's what the way they've been built.
It has to be.
You know, obviously this happened, I think, that right after we did our show last week. I still expect there to be a fair amount of 21 personnel.
Yeah.
I think you're going to now less so without him as opposed to with him, but I don't know. It sucks. I wish I could say it's a nothing burger, but it's not. I had high hopes for that young man. I still have high hopes for him, but it just there's a little water thrown on it because we're not going to get to see it for more than likely first 2-ish months of the season.
Yeah. You'll get a fresh back halfway through the year.
Mm-hmm. A battering ram.
So if you're trying to look at things glass half full, that's one way to look at it. But like Will said, and I said it, I think it's more about the way the offensive line performs this year. I think you have enough. I think you have enough with Sampson and Ford, and then whoever else you bring in. Hopefully, they swing a little bit higher than Pierre Strong to attack the running game in the same way that you were going to anyways. And that if the offensive line clicks, one of these guys will be able to capitalize.
And just based on the way the offenses ran, it's more just about being efficient with it. You know, you don't have to run for 100 yards every game, but you gotta live around that 4 yards a clip.
Yeah,
you have to be able to do that to marry the pass to your run scheme and to be able to break things open. And we've seen Ford. Ford reminds me of Crowell. Crowell would have amazing 60-yard runs. Yeah. And then you look at his average in the day and be like, man, he averaged 6 yards a carry, but it wasn't really like that. He had one giant run and a bunch of 2-3 yarders that really didn't do much for the offense. But Ford has that ability, and he does give you more as a pass catching back. And I'm not saying he's not ahead of where Dylan Sampson is as a pass protector, but his pass protection scares me. Ford's does.
Yeah, that's part of the problem is neither of them are very good at that.
Yeah.
And you
So
maybe
whoever you sign to be running back 3, that's their forte. Maybe that's what gets someone that spot.
Yeah. So that has to be kind of part of their eval.
Should be
who it goes for. Like again, it can't be Pierre Strong because he can't do it at all.
No.
Swift
based on his athleticism, you think that would be his role, but it has never been his role.
I mean, he's fun until somebody touches him.
Mm. Then it's over.
Then he flies to the ground.
Then it's over. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I've seen enough of that. So, yeah, I mean, there's some names out there. There will be more names at cut downs. There could be trade candidates, but I think it makes sense to wait probably for a little bit. Yeah, post camp cuts. Yeah.
Well, as we sit here right now, though, out of the names you rattled off, I would say Dearness Johnson. I would feel pretty good about him being running back 3.
Yeah, the fact that he's unsigned and out there right now is kind of raise your eyebrows at, like, wow,
if I had to guess, he's 30 or 31, which
that would be kind of a coup to get him right now.
Yeah, the familiarity, and I know he can handle pass pro.
Yeah, he's 29.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they do, but I guess my ultimate takeaway is I don't think it impacts the way they want to operate the offense.
I mean, they want to run.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I still think they're going to run the ball just as much. It's just going to be by committee.
Yeah, I think it was going to be by committee either way. I just expected him to have a bigger hand than the other two as far as just toting the rock. I don't know. Look, man, this would be a way different world if you don't draft 2 running backs. If they've only drafted him and then we're in this position, it's a different. I love Sampson coming out on the vast majority of my mocks. He was my back of preference in the mid round where they got him. His skill set is perfect for the wide zone. Like I've said this before, but when I got to talk to Daniel Jeremiah and I said, hey, throw some running backs at me that fit Kevin Stefanski's wide zone scheme, he named 5 backs. Judkins and Sampson were among those backs. You know what I mean? So he's a good fit. He's explosive, got a nose for the end zone. He's a nightmare in the open field. There's a ton to like about him, but he's also a rookie.
Yeah.
So, giving him too much too soon, you always have to watch out for that.
You got to watch out for it, but you've also seen some rookies excel in their rookie year. I mean,
typically they're not the focal point of usually there's like a supplemental piece.
Bucky Irving was the man last year, right? As a rookie.
Yeah. I'm not saying there's not examples of it. I'm just saying the majority of the time when a guy comes in as a rookie, unless he's like all world, that's who he is type guy.
Yeah.
I have high expectations for Dylan Sampson.
Yeah, me too. And I hope he, if they lean one way, I hope they lean more towards his way of giving him carries and touches in the interim here while they work out what's going to happen with Judkins. Unfortunate stuff. Last part of this, did you blame Andrew Berry?
No.
The process at all?
No, there was no red flags on this kid. I didn't hear anything pre-process. Everyone vouched for him. He was vetted. The head of the Brown security team's ex-FBI. You know what I mean? Like they did their stuff, and they didn't just throw caution to the wind. And in years past, there have been players where you couldn't say that about, where they did take chances on guys that had character risks. So when those bite you in the ass, yes, you can point to like the flawed process. I can't say that with this.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying to take any blame off Judkins. I mean, as far as in the evaluation process, like just take the actual act out of it. Obviously, that's all Judkins. I'm just saying, like, I was I wanted Trevion Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can go watch the clip. Everybody yelled at me. I was a whiner. I was a baby because I got mad about them taking Judkins.
They didn't call you a simp, though. I know that.
Yeah. And then, it was like GTR all over again. Everybody hated me because I didn't like the pick, right? Well, and that had nothing to do with issues off the field. That was just my preference in player.
Obviously, we haven't seen him play, so I can't say this definitively. The reason I was behind the Judkins pick is because I wanted a workhorse back.
Yeah.
I wanted them to have a guy that was a workhorse back.
Yeah, I agree, Matt.
That's who he is. In comparison, Henderson's going to be a game breaker. He's got a different skill set.
Yeah, there was nothing there that suggested this. It's
4 players in 3 years, though, have gotten domestic violence on this team.
And the action itself in the story, in the facts, it doesn't I want to be careful here.
Yeah.
It doesn't come across as like it's going to be framed as a one-off, right? But, I mean, they were in a car at an airport. It was like a normal situation, everyday situation. It's not like it took something totally extreme to get him there.
No, we don't know that. We don't know a conversation there. It could have been something wild. But here's the thing to me is it was 2 separate instances. It was so if the story's correct, if what we heard is correct, just assume that for this discussion. And he hits her in the lips, is what it said, closed fist.
Chin.
And then, well, I read lips originally, but okay. Days later, he punched her in the arm and in the leg. So you put your hand on a female twice.
I thought that was all in one.
That's not the way I read it. Chat can correct me, but from what I heard originally, it was days later. It was the arm and the leg thing.
I thought that all took place in the car at one time.
That's not what I read. That's not what I read. But that doesn't mean it's right. Chat can step in. Same day, but later in the drive is what their chat is.
Okay. Jacob saying same day later.
It's really not a one-off.
During the drive. So it was still in the same car ride. That's how I understood it, right? Like, so I guess I just like, there's nothing there in the past. But like, Ohio State again. Is Ohio State doing a really good job of like covering up what's going on in their program? Do we have to ask that question at this point? Like, I don't know.
I mean, Devin Bush is Michigan, Perrin Winfrey, Oklahoma State. I think it's a problem in general.
That's a focus.
It seems like we're snake bitten because a lot of the fan base wants you to draft Ohio State players. In the last couple you've drafted, this has happened, but I can't correlate the two.
All one time, Fumble said.
Well, in the report it said later that he punched.
Yeah, later in the drive, in the same drive.
That's what it said.
To me, that's like all one. Like it could have been 10 minutes later. It's
I don't know. If you punch someone in the face and then you have 10 minutes to think about what you just did and you do it again, that's almost worse. It's like I let something get out of control and you had a physical reaction and then like you let it go down again. Like you gotta, at that point, man, stop the car, you get out. These young men got to learn how to carry themselves, man. Like and we don't know if any of this is true, but I'm just saying if I'm reading that as if it happened, come on, man. Remove yourself from the situation.
Yeah. It just I guess it strikes me as the kind of situation, and you're right, we weren't in the car, but it strikes me as the kind of situation, and I don't want to paint him in a bad light or a worse light than he's already in, but doesn't feel like it took a ton to get him there, but I guess that would be my thing. But we don't know what was said. So
like if she was just like being pleasant and he started going off, then we got way bigger problems. Way bigger problems with this kid if that's how it went down.
yeah. Yeah, Connie, I'm with you. All right. If I have to stop this car. All right, let's move on to another topic here as Pat Shea is unhappy that we were talking this much about it. So
I get it.
I
Like,
know,
but me and Brad have
I,
not seen each other since this happened. So this is
I know we haven't had a
what's going
chance
to
to
happen.
talk about it, so we're just kind of talking through it. I apologize to bring it up again. It's a major bummer, and it's an issue now with this team 4 times in 3 years. The facts are out, Pat. I don't know what other facts we're waiting for. I mean, the
We're waiting on
alleged,
now how he chooses to defend himself in
yeah,
court.
the alleged facts are out.
Yeah,
There's
the
not
police
much
report
more to
was
wait
followed.
for as far as
Made
what
public.
happened. So, yeah, alleged, but
Alleged and enough that they chose to arrest, to arrest him for it. Like
the
there was
police
enough there.
and the judge both looked at what was presented and what was alleged and said, "Yeah, let's proceed."
Yeah. I will say this about Florida's laws. It was when it first got reported, it was like innocuous because it was like it covered 3 different things. It was like touch, strike, like it was, all the way to domestic violence. So we didn't know exactly what the spectrum was, but after you get the report, you have a better picture at least.
My question initially was the timeline.
Yeah, which came
So
out a little later that it took 5 days and
that it took 5 days to report, and I was like, okay, so that's kind of let's wait and see. To your point, Pache, I was like, let's wait and see what happens here because of the timeline. That's weird that it takes that long. Not judging that, whatever, but after reading how everything unfolded,
Mhm.
she took pictures of herself, of the bruising, kept them, and then sought counsel with her family before even her friends and family before acting on turning him in or calling the police. To me, is I guess it led some credence to her story a little bit more.
Yeah. And if you think about it, she's out of state with him, his car, you know what I mean? Like, or rental car, whatever the situation, wasn't like she could just like go home.
I'm with you, Pat. I'm willing to listen to his side of the story 100%. But like, I doubt he's going to. What's he gonna say when they show the pictures of her with bruises on her face? She walked into a door while we were driving in the car. I mean, I just don't know what he can say at this point.
Yeah. Unless he has video evidence that she did it to herself or something. That's the only thing that'll exonerate him if she had marks on her, as far as the law is concerned.
And I like football too, Pat. But this part of it, unfortunately.
I wish it wasn't, brother. I would love to
know.
go an off season with not having to talk about this. It's gross behavior.
Believe me, we've had to talk about this way too damn much, right? With Watson and all this other stuff. I would say this about last comment on this. The legal aspect of it, it doesn't really matter. That's my point. Like what happens legally, the only aspect the league is going to do what they want to do anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So by that case, I'm already considering that the league he's going to miss games for suspension. Just how many? And then on the legal aspect of it, it's really about how long it takes. That impacts, if we're talking football aspect only, I don't know. I don't know about that fumble. Yeah. I would say Broken Arrow makes a good point there, but you're talking about the floor of his suspension. The legal situation can make a higher ceiling. Well, yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't matter at all. I'm just saying like that the league does its own investigation, and they've proven in the past with Mike Hall last year where the witness literally recanted all of the stuff that was really damning last year
Mm-hmm.
in the Mike Hall case, and the league still suspended him 5 games.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, misdemeanor, felony, the league comes down hard on domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
And if they find out her allegations are believable, the league is going to treat it the way they want to, regardless of what the courts say.
Yeah.
They've proven it. They proved it last year with Mike Hall. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, as they should. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not worth paying attention to the legal side. I'm just saying, and I'm saying I think that the actual timeline of the legal situation will hold more bearing on what the NFL does than what he pleads out to.
Yeah,
I would find it hard to believe like she can recant this story where she's submitted pictures and everything. You know what I mean? So, anyways. Either way. Yeah, so we'll pay attention to that. But either way, I expect the Browns to run the ball just as much, and I would like them to get Sampson involved in that in a major way.
Yeah, it's gross what we're talking about, but it does open up opportunity for players. That's the football side of it. And Sampson stands to gain the most, in my opinion.
All right. So this season, well, actually, let's save that. You're watching All Eyes on Cleveland. That's Casey Kinnamon. I'm Brad Ward. Tough topic to talk about. Got through it. It's always tough to talk about. Unfortunately, we're seasoned veterans at this point, but I wish we didn't. But Shedeur Sanders making a lot of news here. You're gonna love these. So I've gathered some of his videos over the past few days of him working out, a funny video, and a video of some really quality in the community work being done. What is this? This was the first one. In the rain in Florida. So he's putting out all these videos of him working out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, some players do this, right? You see anything there worth commenting on?
The ability to throw a football in the rain is very helpful.
Yeah.
And it's a skill that a lot of teams back in the day, they would soak the ball with water with a garden hose just to make sure the quarterbacks are ready for that. So you're preparing in adverse elements. That can't hurt anything. No, I expect every player out there is working, you know what I mean? But it's good to see he's doing the right stuff.
He's out here at night running sprints. My whole thing with like this stuff is like, I know they put it on video.
Yeah.
And so it shines a light on it, and it's a good strategic move. But it doesn't mean Dylan Gabriel isn't doing the same stuff.
No, they all, every NFL quarterback.
They all should be doing.
Yeah, they should be. You know,
they all should be doing the same things right now, and some just choose not to put it on video and don't have a camera crew and a professional camera team with them.
Yeah.
Right. This was one. This was he's wearing shoulder pads in this one, which I thought that was strange. Did you see this one?
It's your boy Mag Dog
Johnny
TV
Manziel
coming back with another one. So it looks like.
Is this the one where he's wearing shoulder pads? No.
Mm-mm. Yeah, get used to that action, buddy.
Get used to that play action stuff.
Yeah, get used to that. Sell that.
What is this? What did I get here? I thought this was something different. Does this say UNLV?
Yep. Terrible form.
Anyways, so I thought that was a different one. Anyways, there's another one where he's in there's another one where he's got shoulder pads on, which I thought was a little strange, but yeah. And then
Taking a page out of Johnny's book.
Huh?
Taking a page out of Johnny's book.
Yeah. And then we've got this one, which is rather funny.
Hey, Joe, hold on real quick.
Hey, Joe Flacco ain't shit.
Nah, bro, the back of my man, bro.
Yeah, but I like Shedeur more though. You feel me?
Yeah, that's my man, bro.
Hey, you take it easy though,
No,
boss.
appreciate y'all, bro.
Yep,
Let me see y'all.
yep.
Definitely.
So he's serving at KFC. I love that he defended Joe Flacco, man. Love it. Right? I think I know this guy.
For real?
Yeah. I
Get him on the
swear I
show.
think I know.
Talk. He had words ready for him, dude. That is cool,
yeah.
though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he had Joe's back, right?
Appreciate y'all, bro. Hold on real quick.
Hey, Joe Flacco ain't shit.
Nah, bro, the back of my man, bro.
Yeah, but I like Shedeur more though. You feel me?
Yeah, that's my man, bro.
Hey, you take it easy though,
No,
boss.
appreciate y'all, bro.
Yep,
Let me see y'all.
yep.
Definitely.
it's proof you don't have to put others down to bring yourself up. Right there.
Yeah. And then finally, was this today? The
I don't know. When we talked about it on Sports for CLE, Dave didn't cite when it happened.
Okay. I mean, this is good. This is really good quality community stuff here.
Garden Valley Fun Fest is quite a stark contrast from a couple weeks ago, June 23rd, when there was an explosion here. 44 units at the Rainbow Terrace apartments were damaged, more than 100 people displaced. But now if you look around, hundreds of people are out here. Everyone has a smile on their face. I don't know if you can see in the distance, but Shedeur Sanders is out here playing football with members of this community. On the other side of this valley, there's food trucks, different games, inflatables, free haircuts. I talked to members from Shedeur's team. He said they pulled this thing together in about 5 days. Everything is free. They just wanted this to be a fun, uplifting community event for these people that truly have been through so much.
Of course, everybody know about the situation, everything that happened here, and I was out of town when it happened, so I was able to put things together, structure things the best we could in the small amount of time we had to make sure everybody's accommodated. It's bigger than football, you know, like it's bigger than football out here.
Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders is a guy that is very new to Northeast Ohio, but he's already organized a few different community service events, just not only to meet different members of the community, but help out areas that there's need. There was one woman walking around that I spoke with my whole life. I've never seen something like this. To have a guy like Shedeur with the platform that he has to be able to bring members of the community together and be able to help out is something this community is very excited about. I also spoke to Councilman Richard Starr, who told me that everyone that was displaced from the fire has now all officially been rehomed. So that is great news. In Garden Valley, Leah Doherty, 19 News.
Love that.
Absolutely,
Love that.
man. The first thing I think of, I mean, obviously it's good to get the community together and someone who's endured tragedy to be able to feel, you know, like they could put it behind them. But those kids are never, ever going to forget that. They're going to forget that moment that Shedeur Sanders showed up, put on a festival. They all got to play football with him. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It is beyond football.
It is. And he says it's bigger than football, and he's right.
He is right, 100%.
And Serge makes a good point. He doesn't have to do that. No one else did it. I think you said Mike Hall was there.
Mike Hall was there. Yeah, you saw him in one of the pictures there. He was there.
Yeah.
Mike Hall was there.
I don't care.
He's from the community. It makes
Right.
sense that he'd be a guy, you know, with his feet on the ground. But
yeah, I don't care if it's PR or not. It helped the community. You're
I don't care about
right.
it if PR or not. I care about those kids who got to experience that. You know what I mean? Like that's huge.
Yeah, I mean that's just excellent. You know, it's really cool, and you know, he gets some flack for knowing his PR stuff for Serge to be examined. Like, I'm not gonna say like him putting his workouts up online all the time is a bad thing. I think it's probably a smart thing to do. You know, if you're working and you want to show it, that's great. I think that's fine. And that's not against anybody that's not showing it, right?
Yeah.
And it is also working. But then you look at something like this and it's like, well, yeah, he knows his PR, but who cares, right? Like to Serge's point, who cares? He's helping the community. Look at the kids' faces. Look at everybody there.
And if we're looking, like we had, like, what was it, a month ago? We're talking about the speeding tickets.
Yeah,
you're not going to talk about this though. Like this is awesome. Like this is the good stuff. Let's highlight it. Let's point it out. Tremendous work out of him.
Perfectly said. Yeah, Pat, you're right. A lot of players do good, and it doesn't always get press. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it getting press.
I don't think he called Channel 19 to come down.
No.
It'd be different if anything we had was to go as his camera crew. Like it was covered by as it should have been. That was huge for that community.
Yeah. Will makes a great point here. This is much rather have a guy posting workout videos than a dude who has to have limited video games put into his contract. Yeah. I mean, agreed. But I mean, really more than anything, like it's just really, really, Kyler Murray catching a stray. But it's just really, really good to see. And it's not the first time he's done that. And he comes across as a guy that, like, when he speaks, he genuinely comes across as likable, and that he cares. Just that he put it together in that amount of time. You know what I mean? To do it. So,
and then, to your point, I think we're talking about like filming workouts and stuff. Like, as long as you're being genuinely who you are, and that's who he's been, it wasn't like this is all of a sudden. Like this is who he's been throughout the process, and he's doing good in the community. If you're as long as you're being genuinely you, that's awesome, dude. Like, do whatever it is that you do.
Agreed. Couldn't agree more. So 2 thumbs up there and around. Good stuff from Shedeur there. Something he didn't have to do, and did it. And awesome stuff. All right. Let's dig into some nitty gritty football stuff here for the next little bit. 2025 season. I know people are down about the Quinton thing. Does it change your approach or your feeling about the season? Because it doesn't for me. Like, I'm not getting on the, like, it's not, my point, it's not a nothing burger, like you said, but I still think they can run the ball effectively.
I do. I will say this. With Quinton in the fold, I think that running back room has a chance to be special. Now I think they're probably just above average.
Okay.
I think it takes away from the ceiling of what that room could be to lean on. But at the end of the day, I still think you're a run-first team. I still think you're looking to get third and shorts and capitalize on play action. I don't think that changed. So your approach to the game doesn't change.
I think that the body you bring in makes an impact here as well, too. I think if you bring in somebody that can add to the two guys, pass protect some more, I think that will I think that will impact a lot. This season, though, as you look across the roster, the way this season goes, Casey, at certain positions in general and specifically, will lay out the path of what direction you have to go for like the next 5 years at that position. I feel like at cornerback, the way it goes for Newsome and Emerson this year, for Cam Mitchell and for Harden, will dictate how they have to proceed at that position for the next 4 years.
Yeah. No, and this is a team who's always invested in that position, but because of Emerson and Newsome, we really haven't seen much out of, Cam Mitchell, Miles Harden. Now we're going to get to see some in the preseason, and those guys need to make big steps to even give the brass the confidence that they could move on from either one of those guys. But the bottom line is they're both in contract years. Like if you were to, as we sit here today, I'll tell you right now, I do not believe both those dudes are on the team next year. I just don't believe they're going to be able to retain both of them. So it's going to come down, and that will change how you play. Now, in a perfect world, in my mind, I want Emerson to perform because I don't have to replace him. I think it's easier to find a nickel. So that if I were to choose between those two players, I think that's the path. If they don't both perform, you would want Emerson to be the guy who does, so you don't have to revamp that on the outside.
Will has a question here for you. I'm going to answer one part before it. I know it's for you.
Gotcha.
Casey, how concerned are you about pivoting back to the wide zone scheme, but with an unproven O-line coach this time instead of Callahan? I think that their O-line coach is proven this year. I think Puffy Head was unproven.
Yeah.
I think this guy is an upgrade.
And I get what he's saying, though. I mean, as in the NFL ranks, not so much. But this dude is a grizzled dude. He is an authoritarian. And I'm also like, at the end of the day, at what point do we hold players accountable for their own play? Because we're not talking about guys who need to be brought up. We're talking about Joel Bitonio, Jack Conklin, and Wyatt Teller, for God's sakes. How many reps do you need to see to have someone hold your hand? My thing with the offensive line, I'm not worried about the scheme. I think the scheme helps. I'm worried about the health. Yeah, that's where it comes into play for me.
Well, and to that point, I think they have done a much better job this year. Like, I am not worried about their depth on the line because I feel good about Lucas, right?
Cornelius
I
Lucas.
feel good about Tevin Jenkins.
Me too.
As two
and
guys.
Your first two dudes off the bench.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
So 7 deep, I feel really strong about.
Me too. And you invested a high pick in Center. Like, we need to see that pay off. So, at least be a solid backup this year. Possibly a fullback. We'll see how it plays out.
At wide receiver, do you think the story's the same? Like, what happens this year dictates how they move forward. Like, I expect, Jerry Jeudy is going to be a part of this for the next few years,
Regardless.
regardless.
Yes.
Cedric Tillman,
This is it.
this is it.
This is the year he needs to do it. I know he's under contract for an additional year after this, but this is the year you need him. If you want to submit yourself as the number 2 on this team, this is the year you do this. This is what we were waiting for from DPJ. This was the same. We were in this exact same position with him, and obviously he was a 6th rounder, so it's not the same kind of equity, but it was the same thing. Like, can he take that step and be that number 2? And we don't have to think about it, and he wasn't able to do so.
Is that right? Didn't he catch 900 yards for us?
Not his final year, no. God, no.
Not his final year because he got traded middle of the year, but
Yeah, he came into a different position. Like, Tillman was asked to play earlier than DPJ. DPJ snuck on the field a little bit in his first year. Second year, by the end of the year, he was like the de facto one because everyone got hurt in 21.
I know he had a 600-yard season.
Yeah. But he never cemented himself as that number 2. He was still expendable. You know what I mean? Because he didn't take the step that he needed to take. And he hasn't since he left. It's not like he left and it's the same story.
No, he hasn't done anything since he left.
But for me, it's is Tillman number 2? Is Deontay Johnson going to resurrect his career? If those two things happen, you feel wildly different about this room.
Yes.
And what it can be going forward. But, and the Deontay thing could just be a resurrection this year and he's gone next year. So it makes you feel different about the room this year. Might have long-term implications, but Tillman would have long-term implications.
6th round pick, Donovan Peoples-Jones, played 12 games as a rookie, caught 14 balls for 304 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
21, played 14 games, caught 34 balls, 597 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
In 22, played all 17 games, caught 61 balls,
800 yards,
839 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's number 2 numbers.
Yeah,
No?
problem was he was the number 1 at that time.
Was he?
In 22?
Cooper. No?
Wasn't Cooper 23?
Isn't Cooper year 1?
You might be right. Well, what are his numbers? Or Cooper's numbers in 20? I thought Mari was.
I may be wrong.
Right. No, you're probably right.
No, Brown's 22. Yeah, Cooper, 78 receptions for 1,160 yards.
And if you got a guy doing that and your secondary guy's got 60 for 800, that's number 2. So I'll take back what I said. But he should take that, that next step the next year and, found himself on the outside because of it.
Yeah, that's so weird. It was like the next year he was just running cardio, man.
Mm-hmm.
He was just running cardio. He just couldn't get any touches in the offense next year when they traded him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a guy caught 840 yards. Looks like a legit find. He's big, athleticism. He was very crafty and nuanced at the catch point.
At the catch point. People always focus, well, he didn't get separation. It's like not all receivers have to get separation if you can do the other stuff at the catch point. But you can't bank on that full time because a guy can make a play if you're not creating separation. You want separation, but not all receivers need to be built the exact same. I'll say this, though. Does that speak more to what Jacoby was able to do?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he was able to dig out some balls that were low, and he would always go down and
catch radius was.
Yeah, he was very good catch radius, but it was unfortunate that it was when it went to 23 with Watson full time, is that right?
Mm-hmm. And then you got rid of him before you got Flacco. I think he would have been someone you could have used down the stretch. But it's not like he went to Detroit and, it's like, oh, he's just a jag. No.
Yeah. He was a weird case. I wish they would have hung on to him a little bit longer because like he hasn't found success elsewhere, but I feel like he could have here. He made some big catches and did some
Had the
intriguing
Browns
things.
known that Flacco was going to do what he did, I don't think you walk away from DPJ.
No.
He could have been very useful. Well, and the reason we're wanting Tillman, and the reason I kind of correlate the two is big body receiver.
Yeah.
You need to have one on your roster, man. Like
Yeah.
you gotta have that guy. That's who he was. He wasn't physical like Tillman. Tillman's a much more physical presence on the field. But this is the year. He's got to show it this year.
Is Jamari Thrash in that same boat? I feel like he is.
That he has to this year or it's over?
He's got to kind of show up.
There has to be. He has to make an impact when he is on the field.
Yeah,
but it's a 5th round pick into year 2. I don't want to sound like.
Yeah, I guess it's only year 2. I just like.
But I want to see a decent yards per catch. I want to see. I want to see you be impactful, and it's going to be limited snaps. This isn't a team that I think goes 3 and 4 wide that often.
No.
Only really the times I want to see that's in cases when you're down multiple scores. I want to, play from your strengths. And I think most times that's going to lend itself to 2 wide receivers being on the field. So I don't see a ton of run for him unless someone gets injured.
Yeah. Yeah. David Bell, does he make this roster?
The Pierre Strong thing, I've seen this movie. Can we not?
I guess, but look how good he looked for like a game last year and then got hurt.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that leaves me kind of open-ended. They love them some David Bell, too.
I know. And like, he's like the anti-separation guy.
I know.
He'll be where he's supposed to be. No yak. If he's the floor of your room, is it the worst thing? No. But I if I'm talking floor of a room, like I'd rather have someone with upside.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. That's where my Devon Baker
between David Bell and Mikey Trees. I'm taking Mikey Trees of those 2 players.
I feel like I've seen Mikey Trees max too, but I know you're a Mikey Trees guy.
No, I think that does he provide more upside? Because that's what I would lean on.
Yeah,
it's the last guy on the bench, but also those dudes need to play special teams. If you're the last guy on the bench, you got to be able to play special teams. So,
I think that an interesting name that was somebody keeps bringing up in the chat that I saw on a cut candidate list the other day because I'm always scouring.
Yeah, you got to.
John Mechie.
Mm-hmm.
If he is for some reason the odd man out
in
Houston, I'm highly interested. Sign me up.
Yeah. Another player from the same team I would also be interested in, Xavier Hutchinson.
Yeah.
They can only keep so many Iowa State receivers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But Houston's a team to watch for. They're going to have to let someone go. And it always felt like during the draft cycle, we were like linked to Mechie several times.
I know.
It seemed like it felt like that was going to be what ended up happening. And then I think they took him he was a 2nd round pick. Is that right? Mechie? Or did Mechie go later?
I feel like he was a 2nd round pick.
I feel like he is, but he was, early in the process, it was like, could he go borderline at the end of the 1st? Like when the process started.
Yeah. And he hasn't, he had to deal with the cancer thing and then he came back and then last year was like when he really started to show what he could do. And I was impressed, highly impressed. I will take any wide receiver cuts from Houston or Green Bay. Same, Serge. Except for, I'm with you, Serge. Oh, good question for you too. What's the immediate and long game future of the Browns quarterback?
Immediate Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
I can't get around it just because I think that you can get the locker room to buy in on it. Unless one of these rookies take the job immediately, but it's one of these rookies. It's what you want it to be. It's what you want it to be. But that's up to them to take the requisite steps to be the guy.
I think this year is patchwork together with how long you can ride Flacco, what you can get out of your rookies and when. And I think that's what 2024 is about. Then you take that knowledge and you apply it to the 2025 draft. Unless one of these guys shows you that they are the next coming, right? Or the franchise quarterback, which will take a lot to do. I'm taking my 2 firsts next year and going and getting a quarterback.
Yeah, it's a short runway to evaluate these players.
It is. But, but we look at it, and I want to point this out again. We look at it, and I hear people talk about this all the time. We got to see. We look at it like we have to see him. We don't have to see anything. The coaches see him every day in practice. So they are making evaluations on the daily that we aren't seeing. So I am forgetting about Pickett.
Intentionally?
Right. Not intentionally. I just don't think he's a factor. Unless he starts the season, when is he going to play?
Don't look for me, man. I'm still puzzled by the move, and I just feel like you're not taking 4 quarterbacks into the season. You're not placing any of these rookies on a practice squad. They won't make it.
The quarterback is by far the most impactful position.
Yeah, it's not a question.
Yeah, I think we will see the rookies play most of the preseason games, McLaughlin. Next position. Pathway forward decided by 2024 offensive line.
I'll say 25, but yes.
25, my bad.
Yeah, it's all good.
Who can stick? DeWan?
For me, that's the big one because, like, I've said it ad nauseum. This greatness is on the table for that young man if he chooses to be great, but it's up to him. It's up to him to show he can be healthy. And when I was on with Dave Bacon earlier today, we were talking about the offensive line and things you're looking for. Like, I expect this is a very veteran-laden offensive line. I expect there to be several rest days for Joel, for Jack, for Wyatt. Yeah. If I hear there's a rest day for DeWan, I start to panic. This is what this kid's got to show now. That he can be your everyday guy. They don't make dudes with that big a frame with that good of a footwork. It doesn't happen. So he could nail down the left tackle position, man. There's a lot on the line for him. Because if not, you got 2 first-round picks next year. And if he can't be it, you got to find it. We've been cycling through. And we spent a lot of time on a left tackle not to be named. It kind of ended up where it felt like it was going to be all along. He just wasn't the guy. And if for DeWan, he's got to stay healthy first. But, like, if he can put together a top 10 season, oh, man, that'd be music to my ears, man.
Who are who else can be here? Teller?
I don't know. I kind of feel like he played well in pockets. Here's the problem. All those offensive linemen played good in pockets, but never at the same time. It was like, if there was a couple games where Joel was great, a couple games where Wyatt was great. Conklin was pretty good when he came back, but he wasn't there for the beginning.
I can't trust him moving.
I know,
forward.
neither can I. But would it surprise me if he's the guy that ends up sticking? Like,
yeah.
And I've counted him out. Like, I have. That man's his injury list looks like Mick Foley. Like, he's went through so much, but he keeps coming back and he plays well when he's on the field. But it's about health for these guys. Joel, I expect Joel to ride off into the sunset. Man, you've earned it. If you choose to stick around, so be it. But, like, at some point you got to move on. Where does Zinter fit in this conversation? It feels like
he fits in next year, I think.
He should, but it could even be at center. We'll see how it goes. They're probably gonna have him try to snap a little bit, it feels like Pochich has kind of been on his way out. I know they like Cohen a great deal. Would it surprise me if Tevin Jenkins is your starter going forward next year?
No, if he can be healthy, I think he's on the table, right? I just want to comment on this real quick. They will do this regardless. This is part of what they do. This
Until
is part
the
of
league stops.
this is
This is what they're going to do.
This is part of the AB financial system. It has nothing to do about kicking the can down the road. I mean, the financial can down the road. But yes, but the wrench in this was Myles Garrett asking for a trade. They got past that. They can continue to do this. Yes, they will restructure all the contracts they can and use it all in rollover cap. They will continue to do that year after year after year. It's just it's part of the deal now.
And they're not alone.
No.
They're not alone.
Not the only team doing it. Okay. So offensive line, potentially you're gonna have to
completely
overhaul.
Yeah. Which is the good thing about the rest days I'm talking about. You're going to get to see these guys. You're going to get to see Cohen. You're going to get to see Zenter. You're going to see, you might already have some of your future places as depth this year that become starters next year. But yeah, there's a ton of contracts up, man. This is definitely the last year of this iteration.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time. They've been good together in this scheme. They were asked to play out, out of this scheme. They were asked to do things that the personnel wasn't brought to do for a season. They didn't look good doing it. And then now they go back. So I think they look good this year, The only guy I could see getting an extension is Teller because he's a little younger.
Yeah.
I think Pochich, I'm fine. I'll take it or leave it. Let's see what Whippler has. See if they have anything there. If not, some of this is going to have to come from free agency, and some of it is going to have to come from the draft. You could be left with one member of your starting offensive line
from this year. Yeah.
So.
But if you were to tell me that 2-3 years from now you're starting guards or Javion Cohen and Zach Zenter, I'd feel okay.
I guess I need to see more from Cohen.
Yeah, I agree. And you're going to get to, though. That's the beauty of these veterans taking rest days. Like, you're going to get to see it.
Well,
they've like been throughout this process.
From him. Yeah.
But like, is he another guy they might try to sneak on the practice squad this year because you have to keep a spot for Zenter, Tevin Jenkins. So you got backup guards, you know what I mean? Like, kind of settled. That's the reason it's imperative that Zenter snap so he can occupy a couple spaces, and then unless Whippler's the truth, but like they haven't had luck. They've been trying to get a center to a homegrown center and it just hasn't worked.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about Zenter as a center right now. I mean, he's taken snaps there already. I think even in minicamp, right?
Yeah, which they should. He should.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the more you can do.
Smart. That's just you want to smart train. You want to cross train him, smart train him. Defensive end. It's got to be this year, right? You got to. I mean, the future is either Isaiah McGuire. I mean, I know he has another year, but like this year will tell you he should have plenty of pivotal reps this year, or Alex Wright. That's it. Or else you need to draft a stud or bring in another hired gun.
Yeah, and I think they want to not do that if they don't have to. I think they're trying to pivot away from
experiment
the 1 year rental guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm encouraged by what we saw at McGuire, and I've always liked Alex Wright, and I like his versatility, but he is in a contract year, So there is a world where he's not here next year. Man, I saw pictures of him earlier today. It's a big human.
Yeah.
Alex Wright is a big boy.
Yeah.
Um,
If he works out and Isaiah McGuire works out, that's a wonderful.
Great. Yeah. And I feel way more optimistic than I'm hearing national people. For national people, the Browns defensive line's like this, like there's all these questions surrounding the defensive line. And like I feel great about the defensive line. I feel like I feel like they have a gaggle of tackles. They have a plethora
on the
of
interior.
And I think
on
Mike
the
Hall can play
interior.
DN if he needs to. Like
Yeah. The
feel good.
interior, I feel like they are solid as rock and deep. So
But it'd be helpful if McGuire goes out there and locks it down and he's your opposite Myles Garrett for the next 5. That'd be tremendous.
And the other, positional pivotal season this is pathway, I think is that comes to mind for me is obviously just quarterback, which we've discussed at great length. What other are there any, that's a given. Is there any other positions that you can think of that will be decided by a play on the field this year?
Free safety.
Like free
safety. They want it to be Hickman, but they have hedged their bets by putting some good veterans behind them. But they want it to be Hickman, so Hickman's got to go out there and take it.
Yeah. I just wonder if like free priority wise, like on the list that they've brought Hickman along. He's a UDFA. They brought in Casey. They didn't want to spend on another guy there like they have before. I wonder if like priority wise, like going into next year, like that might be further down on the list of priorities as far as just grabbing a veteran free safety and throwing him in there.
I mean, possibly, but if you're telling me Jim Schwartz is your DC next year, it's a high priority for me. You play so much cover one.
Yeah.
I need a guy who can roam. I need a guy who can really cover that area and not be a liability.
And maybe it's Casey. You don't know. I mean, maybe
I am a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. They want it to be Hickman.
They do. Pete made a great point about Hickman playing that deep third middle. He was concerned that his ability to go backwards, turn and go, which I am too.
Yeah.
But so far, when he's been in there, he has played smart enough to not really ever have to do that. He's kept everything
rely
in front of
strictly
him.
on athleticism to make up speed and just processing and seeing things ahead of time and kind of being ahead of things.
Kept everything in front of him.
That's probably why they like him so much.
Yeah.
He's cerebral. He gets the scheme. He understands his responsibilities.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hope he works out to be the guy.
Be great.
Just like his athletic profile isn't out of this world or anything.
No,
he's gonna have to do it with nuance.
I had genuine concerns after I saw him at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah,
I was like, oh man, but he completely, because when they that UDFA class is him and Tanner McAllister both out of Ohio State at safety, coming off a year where you just had D'Anthony Bell the year before as a UDFA. I was like, oh, I didn't see a path for him, and he made it. He took that spot, so props to him.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's UFA article.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
man. Your article inspired me to go to the tape, and I have chosen my UDFA of preference for this year.
I love it. So I wrote an article on undrafted free agents. Now it was inspired by somebody else's work. San, what's his name? He's race for wide left. And they do some really interesting work over there.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was
but
a good
they-
approach to take because not all UDFAs are created equal. And you can kind of
Correct,
track
yeah.
what the team thinks of them ahead of time by how much they're actually paid, you know?
Yeah. So, and what they did basically is they took like guaranteed money, and the consensus draft board and combined it to create like a model that presents to you the percentage chance a UDFA can make a roster. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And which I thought was really interesting. And so I took a look at that, and man, what is going on here right now? Hang on, bear with me. Cut. Get out of here. Give me this one. All right, here we go. Yeah, and then also wanted to look at like what the Browns kind of history with UDFAs were, because they do a good job of presenting a path to the field for guys at positions they need, like Diabate, Hickman, Bell. And they've done some interesting things like with Whitehead and Khalif Halassi, who they snagged, a couple
Mhm.
years ago. So yeah, I thought it was worth looking at. Yeah, can you guys see that?
I can.
Okay. According to Overcap, the Browns signed 3 undrafted free agents that included higher guaranteed money than the rest of the class. Donovan McMillan signed a $10,000 signing bonus and had $210,000 guaranteed at signing. Cornerback Lamarian James, who I did not know this, from Texas Christian, signed a contract with a $20,000 signing bonus, $195,000 guaranteed at signing. And then Aiden Huntington, edge / defensive tackle from Tulane, 20,000 signing bonus, 180 at signing. Those are considered rather high figures, right? For UDFAs. Interesting here, as Arif Hassan, published. This is one they show a lot. This secret round, right? On Yahoo Sports, where if you look at the rosters across the NFL, how much of the rosters are made up of UDFAs, and it's like 12%. You see there.
Yeah, which would have been higher than I would have guessed.
Yeah, and it ranks higher than 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round draft picks. But if you think about it, and basically their point in pointing this out is that's kind of a skewed number when you talk about making a team, because there are so many more UDFAs.
Yeah, there's like 32 picks in a round versus.
Yep. So Hassan's research indicates that the 7th round draft pick has a 52.6% chance of making the roster, while an undrafted free agent has a 9% chance.
Yeah.
That's based on facts from 2018 to 2024.
So there's like 260 some picks in the draft, right?
Right. Yeah.
There's way more UDFAs than that.
Yeah. So the discrepancy skews the result, as many players start on practice squads and eventually make their way onto active rosters later in their careers. There are more than 10 times as many undrafted free agents signed with teams compared to the number of players drafted in a single round of the draft. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Right. So the amount of guaranteed money a player receives significantly affects their chances of making the team. According to their rankings, This year, cornerback Kobe Bryant from Kansas has the highest chance of making any team's roster.
I love that kid.
Yeah, me too. I can't believe he went undrafted.
Skinny, but I like him.
130 overall was his consensus draft board ranking, which is insane that 130 overall consensus player didn't get drafted. But 274,000 guaranteed at signing to the Falcons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their model has him having a 25% chance of making their roster. Xavier Restrepo, after his 40 time, went undrafted, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the second highest, 119 overall consensus draft board, 254,000 guaranteed at signing. Tennessee Titans gives him I guess it doesn't say there. But those are the top two, right? Like a 24% chance of making the team, right?
If
So
he
the
doesn't
Browns
make
guys,
the Titans team, I will be shocked.
if he doesn't,
yeah, Restrepo,
yeah, he should. Yeah, he should.
Dude,
make
his
it for
tape,
sure.
I get the 40 time, dude. His tape, he
And Kobe
creates
Bryant,
separation, bro, and he
should,
already has a relationship with Cam.
yeah.
To me, that's a no brainer.
And Kobe should make it too.
God, he's nasty, and
Yeah.
I told you I picked mine for the UDFA's from Cleveland. I already got my guy that
Yeah,
I'm going for kind of the same reason though, as I like Kobe.
So there were three guys that I found that ranked on their thing. Now you can find them all, but the top three were McMillan, obviously, was the first one. He was 393rd on the consensus draft board. He's their Browns UDFA safety from Pittsburgh.
He's solid.
And he has a 15.4% chance, according to their models calculations, of making the Browns. He's 79th most likely of all UDFAs at 210 guaranteed. Because the Browns will spend, right? So Huntington is not far behind him at 92nd best chance. 180,000 guaranteed. We already went over it. 374 on the consensus draft board, 14.4% chance. And then James, who I know less about and didn't know they gave him this much guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Because I kind of talk about in this article that they should be scouring other UDFAs like they did with Halasi. Because they need to have one eye on the future of this corner room, right?
Max.
But James comes in 129th best chance to make a team, 719th on the consensus draft board. The model gives him 11.5% chance.
Yeah.
Who's your guy?
Lamarian James.
That's your guy.
Yeah, Lamarian James is my guy. The tape.
You went to the tape?
The tape. Dude, he's such an asshole on the field.
Oh, I love it.
He's such a dick. Like it just, if you think about what made the 23 defense, one of the things that made the 23 defense so good was the tenacity of the secondary and how, like, that's what you get when you look at this kid, the way he plays the game. Now, there's also a reason he went undrafted, but I love his attitude. I love the way he approaches the game. Dude, I watched him plant some people too. Like he'll put his shoulder down. I think he's going to be a ton of fun throughout the preseason.
That's awesome. I love that. You know who else is like that we haven't had a chance to see? Harden.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I was actually talking to Jacob Roach earlier today, and I think Harden's a guy who can moonlight. He could be a nickel and a safety. I think he could cover kind of two bases based on his style of play. But we really didn't get to see him last year, so I'm really hoping we get to this year. But out of these UDFAs, and I know Aiden Huntington's getting a lot of pub. He's impressing people. His path is harder, in my opinion, because of what he's up against, what the guys in front of him. Whereas Lamarian James, man.
I hope you're right, man. I'm gonna go watch him now because of it. Because I love that, dude. The guy's cut from Emerson's cloth, the in your face.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. The Browns love it too. That's what they look for.
Apparently is a thing they're into because they gave the guy who was a 719th guy on the board a ton of money.
A lot of guaranteed money. Yeah. That's awesome. Good shit. So I got to go watch Lamarian James. Dom Jones is kind of cut from the same cloth. I don't know if he's that way on the field, but I know that he's a bigger physical man corner. At least I thought that's what Pete said.
Lamarian doesn't appear to be big, and there's reasons he wasn't drafted.
Yeah,
it's the tenacity, it's the way he plays.
Yeah,
but they do love those bigger body corners. These guys who can be more physical. McMillan's physical. Donovan McMillan.
I'm very impressed with him.
Yeah, I watched him. Why am I blanking? The tailback from Syracuse, LeQuint. I watched him stone him at the goal line, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, just completely. It was just pile on, and just you love to see it. And
he started a year in the SEC
obviously, if you look at the track
right?
record, you've seen 2 UDFA safeties make the team. So
yeah. It feels like there's certain positions that they kind of look that way towards linebacker,
safety.
But like he played a year as a starter in the SEC too, right? McMillan, wasn't he a starter at Florida before he went to Pitt?
I didn't see any of his Florida stuff. All I saw was Pitt.
Pretty sure
I didn't look at any of his statistics. I went straight to whatever tape I could get at the time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he played a year at Florida, or he was at Florida before he went to Pitt. So, I also mentioned in the article Devin Bush's formal arraignment is July 18th. That's tomorrow.
He's one of the 4 in the past 3 years.
Yeah. Tight ends. In the article, I mentioned that that's one of the positions that I think they could see movement at.
Yeah.
Because you have Njoku and you have Fannin. 2 years at Florida, paid 25 games for him. Thank you, Jacob. I knew you would know. You have Njoku and what he can do. Beast, stud.
Yes.
Harold Fannin, what he can do.
Swiss Army knife.
Can Whitebeard do either of what those two do? So if one of them gets injured, do they have to change who they are offensively? Yes.
Well, it's difficult to say what they're going to have Fannin do. I know what I want them to have Fannin do, but Njoku is a nasty inline blocker, and we know what he can do in space and yards after the catch. Whitebeard's doing none of that.
Right.
He's doing none of that.
And I don't think he's really doing any of what Fannin is doing either, except for running, basic routes.
No, but we could see a world where if Fannin were to go down, that they run more 21 personnel. They have have a receiver out there and more often, because I don't think they're going to ask him to do a lot of the physical stuff. So no, I don't think that 1-for-1 he can't swap out for either one of those guys.
If you read my articles, Pat Shea, you would know that I wrote in this article that I do think Akins is the answer.
Yes.
He knows the offense. He can do more
He can do some inline stuff, but he can do
some inline. He can block a little bit. He's been a better blocker than advertised.
And I gave him credit for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely.
And he can do some of what Fannin can do better than Whitebeard. So I think if you saw injury, you could apply Akins to the offense and not have to change as much or anything with Akins in there.
Yeah, and just he's a veteran, But just for the gimmick, I kind of want it to be Whitebeard, just for the gimmick.
Just for the Whitebeard, yeah.
Yeah.
Gimmick. Jack also feels that way, Pat. He does. So you read it from Jack too. He feels the same way. We had a long conversation about it. Yeah. But that seems to make the most sense to me, and it would make sense that they would wait till later in the process too.
See
He's a
who falls off
veteran.
of the team. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For
he doesn't
sure.
need to be in camp
And
from day one.
yeah,
So we'll see. That's just
well,
the
Whitebeard
way
wasn't
that.
in camp with us last year.
Yeah, that's just
Arizona,
the
I think,
way
let him go.
I see it going. Unless you see like Sal Canella coming on.
That'd be fun. Be fun to
Be
say that
fun.
name a lot, right?
He's freaking athletic, man. He can
Sal
get up.
Canella.
He can catch a ball.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Did you? All right. You're watching All Eyes on Cleveland. Did you finish the night of?
No, I did not. I failed you. I did not get to.
No, you didn't fail me. It's fine. I know you're close to the end, right?
Yeah, no, I still have the same 2 episodes to go. And I know it's not going to happen this weekend because tomorrow after work, I'm wheels up. I'm Gainesville, Florida for the weekend.
Are you?
Yes, sir. I'll be in Gainesville this weekend, so I'll definitely not be watching TV.
Vacation?
Just me, solo mission. One of my best friends from way back lives down in Gainesville, and it's my turn to go visit him. So that's what I'm doing this weekend.
Solo mission. That's amazing. I need one of those in my life. In case no one else has mentioned it, your haircut is looking fresh, brother.
Hey, Will. Appreciate
Nice,
that.
Will.
Appreciate that.
Will's
I'm in
up.
between barbers, man. Like I had a barber at this place called The Chop named Ben. He's a legit Kansas City fan. He didn't just get on to the party. But he only works during the week. And I used to be able to do that in my old job. Now I work, my hours are so different. I can't get it done during the week. So I have to find like weekend barbers, which is harder. So I'm bouncing around.
I know Will didn't notice, but I got my haircut today too.
You went fresh on the sides too.
I always do. And I always go to the same barber.
It's good though. I wish I had that. I used to. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't have that now.
Yeah, but she did pretty good.
If we don't talk about it enough as guys, like a fresh haircut does a lot for you, man. Like,
I feel
like you
so
don't
much
even-
better.
You know,
Feels so
sitting in
much
that chair, right? When they get done, you're like, all of a sudden you see you as you see you in your head. You're like, all right, we can rock with that.
McLovin, are you talking about Vero Beach, Florida? Where the Dodgers play I would be interested in either player, Jeffrey. Nelson Aguilar or DJ Shark.
I stumped for DJ Chark for years and it never happened, so I gave up on the dream.
Either guy. I think that, yeah, I've been to Vero Beach, McLovin. The Dodgers spring training is there. It's a nice place, cool place. Yeah.
Never been.
It's a rather, I think most of it's an elderly community from what I recall. Oh, I don't know. I would always go to visit my grandfather. So, rest in peace.
My buddy that lives in
When he was
Gainesville used to
alive.
live in Lakeland, Florida. So I'd go down there back in the day. And I think the Tigers were in Lakeland and the next city next to it's Winter Haven. And I think that's where the Indians were, I believe, at the time. Where they did their spring training.
Yeah, they're in Arizona now.
Yeah, I think that's the thing now.
They were in Florida.
Because the Reds were the same. They were in like Plant City, Florida, and now they're in Arizona as well.
Yeah, very calm, McLovin. Yeah, it's definitely calm there. But one of the best parts, I loved going to those in the summer. Would it be in the summer? Yeah, no, it wouldn't be in the summer. When would we have gone? When it would have been, I guess, spring training.
It'll feel like summer down there in the spring. I know that.
Yeah. It probably around spring break or whatever. But yeah, we would always catch them there. Oh, that's cool, Will. I like that. New Superman thoughts, McLovin asking. That's a better question for you.
Is it too early? Is it too early to talk about?
Is it out?
Yeah. I went and watched it on Sunday with my 9-year-old. We went.
How was it?
I loved it. It was
You
fun.
loved it?
It was fun. I'm not here to say it's going to win awards. I'm telling you, it was a fun experience, and it's not the same old thing. Like I'm not trying to do spoilers, but you've seen the Superman story. You've seen him land on Earth. You know how they always play it out. They didn't do that. They didn't do any of that. Like it was a different storyline. They introduced different superheroes that weren't your normal superheroes. A different version of Green Lantern. You know, Mr. Terrific kills it. For me, he needs his own movie. Fantastic. Good work.
Who plays Mr. Terrific?
If the actor who played Darwin in X-Men First Class, he was also the gator poacher in Justified. I don't know his name off the top, but I've seen his face.
I know who you're talking about.
But it's definitely a different spin. And if you were going into it and you're like, you want Man of Steel, which I thought is a tremendous movie, that version of Superman, I wish they would have expanded on it more, but they tried to jump the shark and make it the Justice League real quick and yada, yada. It's not that. It's not dark like that. But Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, buddy. Fantastic work out of Nicholas Hoult. It's fun.
I heard, this is what I heard about it. That Cleveland looked amazing.
It did. It absolutely did. And it's cool too to see scenes and you're like, oh, I've been there. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's cool. It's a little inside thing. But
Will says, can we ever get a segment on Get to Know the Obi where you guys talk about how you met, how you came to cover the Browns, etc. Would be cool if it was something you guys were comfortable with.
Absolutely, man. I'm an open book.
Me and Casey are comfortable doing it. We kind of do that at the end of every show for a little bit. But yeah, that's a great idea, Will.
I can give you the cliff notes of how I got to cover the Browns.
Yeah.
My wife was tired of hearing me talk about the Browns. She's like, "Why don't you do something with that and get out of my face?"
Yeah.
so I did. Took her advice.
And you started where?
Fan-sided, Dog Pound Daily. They were like hiring writers, and you had to have a written submission. And I've talked sports my whole life, but I'd never put pen to paper and like really documented it. So I wrote a thing. It was 250 words, just called Die Hard. And the opening line was, I don't know where Lionel Richie was born, but he's not from Cleveland, because Sunday mornings are never easy in Cleveland. And that's how it started. I mean, I just free flowed and talked about the fumble, the drive, Red Ride 88, and how it'll mean more for us than it'll mean for any other fan base when we finally win one because of what we've endured. You know,
good stuff. Love that.
I don't know where that's at, by the way. I've looked for that all these years later to go back and find that first thing that I ever wrote, and I remember what it said, but I can't find it anywhere.
And then were you there until you came here?
Yeah, I wrote for some other sites as well, but not covering the Browns. I covered other teams. But yeah, my Browns coverage was all on Dog Pound Daily until I came to the OBR.
And then you came to the OBR.
Yep, made the big leagues. Got to call up from the skip.
After frequent appearances on this show.
Yeah, weekly, some would say.
Weekly appearances on this show.
Yeah.
I started, I wrote for the school paper in high school. I wanted to write in college, but I was too much
You've been doing this since you bust LeBron James' ass on the court. You've been doing this.
No, I mean, I wrote for the school paper. It was.
Hey, man, that's what I'm telling you. I like my version of it better, Brad.
And then went many years doing nothing. Wanted to just start it up. I was more interested initially in podcasting. but started a podcast. I had like the first podcast I ever started was called All Eyes on Cleveland. It did
Flagship.
It failed. It failed. I had like 3 or 4 that failed with different hosts, different people, different topics. Some were all Cleveland, some was just the Browns. You know what I mean? I wrote for Cleveland, what is it? CLEsportstalk.com for free. Then got a gig writing Maction,
Okay.
Mac football, Mac basketball
Yeah.
at Fansided. Then got Fear the Sword. One second, Norshik. Casey played. He played
Until
football.
my knees turned to string cheese. Sure did.
Played in college, right?
Yeah, D3. I mean, I'm not going to try to boast
Yeah.
my stuff. D3 backup defensive tackle, baby. Number 59 in your program, number 1 in your heart.
I did not play. I played basketball. And then
you gotta tell. You can't just say that.
What?
You can't just.
But my dad, as far as football go, my dad's brother, and they were both football coaches. My dad was a football coach his whole life. Like when I was a little kid, I remember sitting there when he would watch the old cassette tape, and he was his defensive coordinator, and he would like write them out, give them to me, and I used to get to put them on the little rings for my formation.
Awesome, yeah.
Like as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, just sitting there watching it. Like I didn't know what was going on, but my brother played football, was very good safety, went to Ohio Wesleyan, and then became a offensive coordinator. So my brother's football coach, offensive coordinator at Ohio Wesleyan. My dad was football coach for a long time. My uncle's a football coach. It's through my family. You know what I mean? So, so I was around a lot of that. But I did write for Fear the Sword at SB Nation. After that, it was kind of a big deal because it was right before the Cavs took off.
Yeah.
And some of the guys that were there at the time are one of them is on that podcast, the Chase Down now, which just got rights with the Cavs. Yeah. So, wonderful. Will, you're from Delaware. Fantastic. Yeah. Love Wesleyan. So then had a podcast with someone else called the Brown Scout Podcast for years. Then started All Eyes on Cleveland all over again for the second time.
The
reboot.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
And then got the call from Jake and Barry. No.
You were Browns Wire. Am I wrong?
Went to the Browns Wire. Worked for Jared Mueller there. Worked for what's his name is escaping me now. He writes for the Lions too.
Jeff Risdon.
Jeff Risdon. Great guys. But yeah, I wrote at USA Today, Browns Wire, and then got the nod from Jake.
Been paying them dues.
And Barry. And been here raising hell ever since. Raising hell.
So going forward, I'm not going to allow you to say I played basketball. I'm not going to allow you to say that. You have to say I outscored LeBron James in a basketball game. For me, I don't know how we have a conversation where that doesn't come up every time. If it had been me, Believe me, I'm starting every conversation with that fact.
Dude, it doesn't. It was a high school basketball game. I mean,
If it happened at Biddy Ball,
he
dude,
was
it happened.
he was a freshman. I was a senior.
Yeah, I bet
It was
he was
just-
probably cheeks, right? As a freshman.
No, he was incredible.
LeBron James, dude. Like,
It was his first ever high school basketball game.
and
We
what
got-
happened? He got that ass bust by Brad Ward.
No, we got
Found out
crushed.
what it meant.
They went undefeated that year and won the state title.
He didn't outscore you.
He did not outscore me. Thanks. I
Hey,
appreciate
man,
it.
look, dude. If I got to be your Flavor Flav, be your hype
Yeah.
man, I have no problem.
I'll take it.
I'll put the clock around my neck.
I'll take it. But yeah. I was
But,
gonna
man,
play.
if anytime you want us to talk about anything like that,
Yeah,
throw it in the chat.
No problem.
We get down at the end of these shows.
I was gonna play D3 basketball, but was diagnosed with cancer when I was 18, and I had to have 5 after my senior year of high school basketball season. Yeah. So then I had, but I've had it 3 times now.
So how long's it been from the last time till now?
3 years. Right before I came over. The second 2 are not nearly as serious. The second 2 are actually as a result of they think as a result of the scar tissue and
Surgeries.
the radiation therapy from the first one.
Yeah.
So the second 2 are like skin cancer, like
Melanoma.
caused adjacently from the first one. But the first one was the serious one. Yeah, 5 surgeries, radiation therapy. Yeah. So I couldn't go play basketball anymore, obviously. So I went to Ohio University. And then
Did you ever go to Blur's Days?
to what?
Blur's Days
What's Blur's Day?
in Athens, man. I lived in the Plains, and there was an entire apartment complex. It's a big one. It's one of the high rises close to the river. The whole building had a party on Thursdays. You could just go from floor to floor.
Oh, that's cool. No, I've never been to that. They have so many things named like that. Like
Yeah, I'm sure. I was
like
part of the
High-
Jose Cuervo Party Patrol.
Yeah, like High Fest and
Yeah,
like
me and my
each street had a fest name after
Palmer
it, where
Fest.
they just blocked off the street.
Palmer
and
Fest. Yeah,
Palmer Fest.
been there.
Yeah.
I lived in that area for a little bit, but we would go floor to floor. We'd wear fireman hats. I don't even know where we got them, helmets, and we would have bottles of Jose Cuervo and just run amok.
I
A lot of
love
muck,
that.
a lot of muck running.
I love that. Yeah, McLaughlin destroyed his knee on a dirt bike there. Brandon McNeil, 98 to 2002. Oh, Brandon, you were there when I was there, brother,
Same,
for 2
brother.
years.
Same.
I was there from 2000 to 2003.
I was there in
4.
99 to 2000. I lived in
There, too.
Nelsonville first, and then I moved to the Plains. At the time I was banned from OU for 7 years. So
You told me
I
that.
wasn't allowed to go to school there. I went to Hawking Tech before it was Hawking College.
Yeah. 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 What'd you get banned for?
I mean, allegedly. So Chillicothe, Ohio has a OU branch. After I got done playing college football, that's where I went because I had to move back home. It's like, I'll go to school. And I was there for 1 semester. It wasn't even semester. I think it was quarters back then. I don't
Yeah, it
know.
was.
I think
It was
they were on,
quarters.
I don't think they were on semesters yet. And a guy started something with me, and I destroyed some school property. via the fight. And I was the day that it happened, I was told I was banned for life. Like I was going to be arrested if I showed up on property.
And then they dropped it down to 7 years.
Yeah, no, I got a letter in the mail later. The lady's name was Diane DeKroger. She's like, "You're banned, get out of here. The cops are coming." So I got a letter saying it was 7 years. My 7 years is up. I could go back to school and some Rodney Dangerfield stuff now. Allegedly, like there were no cameras, but there was a little bit of evidence. I'll just say it that way. There was like an art display behind glass. And I didn't know it when I grabbed the guy, and it happened. It just happened. But it was some immature stuff. In high school, did you guys ever do the game where you'd walk behind someone and try to kick their leg out?
Of course.
Me and this guy had already had issues in the past, and he did that, and I didn't fall, but I grabbed him, and it happened. It just happened real quick. There, he was cut. It wasn't good. Wasn't a good thing. I've had prouder moments.
It didn't keep you off the campus, though.
No, they don't
know.
I've still don't. Dude, there's video evidence of me being on OU's sidelines for a football game.
Oh, good.
Like I had a dude who played. I could just go walk. I'd be in the locker room and we'd go to the game.
I remember rushing the field a couple times when I was there for wins.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what wins they were.
Yeah,
Miami one time.
Do you know any of the players? While you were there?
You know who was on the team when I was there?
Yeah, Arthur Adams. Do you know Arthur Adams?
Dave Vinatieri.
Really?
Wasn't he? Not Vinatieri.
Not Vinatieri.
No, not Dave Zastudil.
Zastudil?
I'm pretty sure Zastudil was. And also G. Bush.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I got to find out stuff now.
Pretty sure G. Bush was there at the same time on the football team.
Defensive line, right?
Yeah.
I got to find out stuff now. Thank you for telling me that.
Pretty sure.
Starting defensive tackle Arthur Adams was the dude I grew up with. So that's how I would get into the facility and on the sidelines during games.
Zastudil, Ohio University. Come on. What years? To 2000. So you graduated in 2000. So he was there for like a year or two. I think he graduated in like 2001. He went to the Ravens in 2002. So he was there for a year or two. G. Bush. I don't even know what G's first name is.
It's not G? Gerald?
I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive we are the same age in that he played when I was there. Almost positive.
He's a big dude.
Oh, yeah, I know his first name. It is, duh. Of course I know his first name. Thank you, chat.
My chat shut off. I can't even see what these...
Make sure I'm not talking out of my... No. There we go. Yep. 2001, 2, and 3.
What are you looking that up on? Like College Sports Reference or something?
All-time football letter winners. is the first thing that came up when I searched him. So yeah, him.
Well, he'd have been in that room with Arthur Adams, so I'm gonna put a text in here in a minute.
Yeah, he for sure was. Yeah. 0103. Thank you. He was there at the same time. Yeah. I can't believe all of us were there at the same time. That's wild. I was wild.
Not me.
Not you. Of course you
Super
were.
well mannered.
All right, let's get out of here. We're over 2 hours. It's been a good show. It's been a good hang tonight. Man, everything was legal. That sounds like a good time. Big Monday show coming. Pat Shea is right about that. Monday night, 7 p.m. Training camp kickoff show. We'll hash it all out right here. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. You guys are the best chat in all the land. Appreciate you being here. Those of you that have hung out for 2 full hours now, you guys are truthers. So thank you. And hit that like button, slap that sub button on your way out. Any parting words? Big case?
No, man. This time tomorrow I'll be southbound and trucking, headed to Gainesville. I'll see you guys on the other side.
Yeah, buddy. We will see you on the other side. Thank you. As Casey just said, I stole his words. And as Shedeur said on Twitter, only time will tell for your Cleveland Browns. Time will tell. Kramer, you did miss the entire show, almost. But good to see you here, brother. Thank you guys all for hanging out. And for Casey Kinnamon, my name is Brad Ward. Have a wonderful evening. We are out.